everyone, Snow at Forceville, and it's Attila Total War. This is the very first battle in my Alamans campaign that I decided to. I saved the replay. So my army is outside of Ubersis, the starting location that you have for the Alamans, and the Vandals start with an army right outside your border, and it's what this is on the campaign map really looks like flat marshland, but unfortunately this is what I got when I came to the battle map. So am deployed at the very bottom of the hill, and they get the top of this hill. Nice, nice spot for them. Beautiful, beautiful hill. Dirty Vandals. And I've got reinforcement army. This is the Prince's army, actually, not a garrison army. This is the King's army right here. I'm looking at the map going, well, great. So what are my options here? Obviously, going up this side here would be a lot less sloped and maybe a bit more open. But look at the terrain that I have to. They funnel me into this here disaster ground, right? Don't want to fight there. So looking at my only option, which is not actually going straight into them because, wow, once again, just garbage burger, really? I mean, my ability to shoot arrows at them would be greatly diminished hiding behind this berm, no dice whatsoever. So I decided to maneuver my horse and some of my light skirmishers here up the right flank to try and secure a section of ground back over here. So I'm actually going to speed things up so we can get through this. This is the cool option. All you gotta do is push K. K as in Kit Kat on your keyboard, and you can do this while you're actually in normal battles too. It'll remove all of these things here and give yourself a very cinematic looking view, which is where I've been taking all my screenshots on Steam. If you guys want to check out and join my Steam group there, you're more than welcome. The pictures are actually on my personal profile Steam page though, so just view my profile. But that's how you do that. Okay, it's a pretty cool feature to get a good screenshot when you want it. So up the hill I go, and I start to move my entire army now as the prince comes on. Now I noticed something very strange here, and I can't actually show you guys this. Oh, actually I can. These troops come on the field shaken. Even though the general is alive and everything, the prince is right over here. And these are bejeweled nobles. A very cool looking unit. Their helmets actually have jewels in them. Very nifty. Good stats. Expensive unit, but pretty cool, and can acquire them not within like one building or so. So you can get to them, have access to the units pretty quickly. It's just pretty, like your strongest unit right now, I guess. That's the Alamans. Pretty sweet though, I like them. But as I decided to move up this hill, I am realizing that actually making it to the top of the corner here in the map gives me the better ground. So waiting patiently for my army to walk up the hill, but making sure I stay in a defensive posture. Utilizing this little bit of berm here to hide a lot of my units behind them, and then holding my archers out here in the front, keeping anything that they throw at me at, ranged. At reach, I should say, right? I have the ability to reach out, touch them, stop them, slow them down. The rest of my army actually deploy and get into position. Again, I move my cav out in a scouting position, trying to utilize the extent of the map, the full capacity of it. And this works out pretty decently. So I start to move the skirmishers again with them, knowing that if I were to get in the fight over here with the cav, having some skirmishers with your cav to throw javelin at the back of them, most epic. Sure, spear are also the what you would think to take right off the bat, but a horse is a big target, and those javelins do a lot of damage. Those might actually be max, like 90 some damage, which is good, right? Same with the spear units that you get eventually when you upgrade them. So moving up the damn hill, we're moving. This 30-minute battle, I've just fast-forwarded through 10 minutes of my thought process here while I was actually trying to fight this battle. Again, I'm doing another side-by-side campaign with Sapphire Phoenix and Swift Monkey. We've been enjoying playing the campaigns, not in co-op and multiplayer, obviously, because there's 3 of us, and you can only play 2 players, so obviously one person's always going to be left out. So we sit down together, negotiate what faction to play, and we all play the same faction, and then negotiate all of our turns together and work as a three-way battle advisor to any situation. So when something arises, you can just stop and be like, hey guys, what do you think about this? And you have some input and advice right off the bat while you're playing your campaign, which makes things a lot of fun. Plus, we get to make the same decision 3 times, so we're actually able to determine many of the best outcomes in all potential situations during the campaign play so far. And on top of it, we're also able to, kind of negotiate certain battles and advances, offenses that we have options to make until our campaigns stray from each other so far that it doesn't matter anymore, and we just kind of play and chat and have fun. But at the beginning, your ability to communicate with another player to talk through your turns is quite fun. And I mean, I think we actually spent maybe like 20 minutes on turn 1 for this faction, just because we were looking through all the new stuff, trying to negotiate diplomacy, figuring out who our friends are, who our enemies are, and really just enjoy the small things that the campaign and game has to offer right now, which is a lot more than what any of the other Total Wars has provided us in the past. So I'm finally getting up to position, deploying my men. Again, of course, keeping my missile units out in front, spear close behind, and my cav will start to push around the corner again to hold the flank very far here. They out-cav me, as you can see. 3 units on the right flank, 2 units on the left, and they have 2 of these, the Warhound dog with them here. Of course, I actually did not see them fight in the battle, so this is going to be cool to actually see them now in the replay, as I was trying to maneuver more things than really pay attention to this, the specific battle. So hopefully I get to position here quite quickly. Moved up the Bejeweled Nobles. Okay, so left the axe hanging off here on the flank, spear all across the center with a Germanic pike marking it on the high flank to stop any of the cav trying to push over. And I'm waiting for these guys. Here we go. Move them into position, and then I'm going to actually look at grouping the whole army and moving it forward so I can slowly move my way into a good offensive position. Here it is. That's the maneuver. So I have gone from down there to the high ground, slowly but surely working my way across the map and making use of all potential, I don't know what, obstacles to blind the enemy in my movements, and it's worked quite well. Now I have the extreme advantage, and they will have to walk up the retarded slope of the hill that the campaign map did not show. So I've actually had my biggest complaint so far with Attila and even in Rome too so far is that the battle maps do not look like the campaign map that your army is standing on, and I've had a lot of trouble with this, trying to find a good spot on the campaign map and thinking, oh, I'll be in good shape, and really I'm not in good shape. I end up getting put in some crap position. Oh wow, I just punched a whole bunch of my own guys. Luckily, I did not kill them. I mean, they dropped, but I think because they're getting squished. I don't know. I actually have to look at the battle map afterwards to see about the friendly fire. I left these guys because I was paying attention to that charge right there. These guys, a little slow. You can see that I just now respawned with them. The Warhounds.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
Where are those Warhounds? Oh, they're there. So they walked straight in. I'm kind of interested. So I totally wrecked their cav on that flank. No chance. Look at that epic charge here. Oh, across the front. And here comes the dog. There the dogs go. Oh, right into spear wall. Oh, no wonder. See, this is how not to use your dog. Right here. Don't do this. Don't send them straight into spear wall. This is not effective. The maneuver the dog should have been taking is down here and running into all of my archers, or around, kind of utilizing them like cav. But I really have an advantage of holding the ground. I'm in a spear formation, holding the line here. My flanks are actually both quite secure. Axemen are able to fend off those guys here. I actually maneuver these skirmish units in this position thinking, oh, well, there's my big target. These guys I forget about. And really there's just a few more men that they're fighting and taking down off horse until I think, oh, well, I should probably send these guys into the battle here. I totally, like I said, my cav ends up working the hell out of their cav, which worked out really, really well. I mean, I thought I was going to lose. So far, my engagements with cav have not been the best. Here, I keep maneuvering my archers to not mess up my battle lines, but still want to shoot at their archer. Meanwhile, of course, my axemen still waging war with the horse. They retreated and came back, but all in all, this one axe unit is what takes a real beating. The archer unit over here that got beat up, I'm not even sure if that was... Did I lose him? I don't remember if I lost him or not. I did have some merc archer in there, so it might not have been that big of a deal. But my cav, beautiful rush down the hill, discharge through the middle here, finally breaking on the flank here, men charging across. And the last big effort that they have here. And then I start marching in men from all across the lands until we see them round and broke. I mean, what a crazy mixed up fight. Everyone's wearing a green, kind of a red, tan. I mean, oh, so hard to tell who is who in these battles. It's so nuts. But all in all, I took a battle that I thought was definitely going to be a disaster and turned it into a most supreme victory. If I would have gone up the hill, I would have definitely probably lost the fight, I think. It just wouldn't, or at least a massive bloodshed. But all in all, we get them to rout, we break them down, and destroy this army, which actually gives me the ability to remove my most immediate threat from the campaign map. The large Vandal army standing there, and I'm able to then unconsolidate my forces and look to advance in other places. Whereas before, we were stuck looking at a very defensive posture for a long time at the beginning of the game. With just a minute 30 winding down on the clock, and my cav trying desperately to mop up all the available units so that there's nothing left for me to have to actually fight on the campaign map. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do this 100%, but I am able to hit them again with the next move points. So there we have that action. And we can look at the kills for my units, which is pretty even across the board except for the cav, who totally wrecked things at 350 apiece. And most epic times in my first battle for the Alamans. So check that action out. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Snowwood412. This is Attila Total War, and I will see you all in some more beautiful battles and campaigns to come.